We're back, and our guest in this segment is Carlough Faulkner-Carroll. I was going to say it backwards. And she is known to many as a Suzuki violin teacher and to many other people as someone with a really wonderful voice. And she is bringing a whole choir of kids from Uganda to Bedford in May. How did this all come about?
Well, some of the families, one of the families who studies with me, 2 years ago went to Uganda to work in this orphanage called the Kampala Children's Center. And while they were there, they got to know a lot of the children that were there. And gradually in that orphanage, a choir has developed. It's interesting that it developed just because the kids started to dance and sing. It wasn't something that somebody thought, we should start a choir. It was more of a spontaneous thing than that. And then once it had developed, people thought, or the people there thought, well, maybe we can take the kids somewhere and have them sing for people, because there's such a great need there for, we've all heard about the awful things that have happened in Uganda in the last few years, and this orphanage rescues kids from dire situations. That they get a call that there are a few kids in the jungle or something like that that don't have any parents, and something's happened to their parents, and they go scoop them up and they give them homes. And so they're here to raise money to be able to rescue more kids, but also I've learned from this family that's been there that infrastructure is sorely lacking. They, we tried to email the director of this choir with one of the pieces that we'd like to work on together, and she said, well, we don't really expect a response, because actually he used to be able to go to the internet cafe in the next town, which is about 6 miles away, on his little scooter, and apparently it takes about 2 weeks' income to be able to buy just a gallon of gas. But now that closed because the electricity was too spotty and it couldn't make any money. And so he has to go further, and apparently it's dangerous, like he actually would be risking his life to go check his email. And so she said, well, we'll probably hear from him when he actually gets here.
Well, that's an organizer's nightmare, but I think from the other side of it, it really means that this is a very big deal that these young people are coming.
It really is. It's amazing. When I went and researched it a little bit, these kids have been on several tours, and they've toured in the United Kingdom, and at the time they performed for Gordon Brown, and they've been to the Welsh National Assembly and performed in some really amazing places. So this particular group of children from Uganda has begun to get a real, sense of the world. They've traveled really widely.
How extraordinary. So this is going to be at First Parish on May 15th.
On May 15th.
There are still some things that are a little bit
up in the air, yes. I heard 2 weeks ago that the choir had been denied their visas. And so they apparently got an immigration lawyer and reapplied, and just 2 days ago we found out for certain that they are actually coming. They've gotten their visas, and there will be a concert it's called Destiny Africa Children's Choir from the Kampala Children's Center in Uganda, of that group together with the students that study with me.
Now, your students are primarily string instrument?
All violinists.
All violinists?
Yes.
So they will accompany the choir?
That's fluid, but I arranged a piece that is actually, it was a sung piece by a cappella group, a women's group from Italy, which has 4 parts, and I arranged that for violins. And so one of the things that will happen is my students will play that, but it also has a drum part. So the kids from Uganda will play the drums. And they're also in a workshop that we're going to have earlier, going to teach some of my younger students to play the drums, because on our concert at the end of the year, I'll need the American kids to play the drums because the Ugandan kids won't be there.
Oh, so. Yes.
What fun. Sounds like a great evening.
It really will be, and we'll have dinner together. It's really an amazing opportunity for some kids from Bedford and surrounding communities to get to meet their contemporaries. The age groups are very similar, about 8 to 18. They're contemporaries from a place as far afield as Uganda.
And as different from Bedford. In so many different kinds of ways.
Mm-hmm.
In so many different kinds of ways.
Wow.
So in our May program, we'll put a little bit of a slide up to let you know more of the specifics about how to get tickets. I'm sure there'll be a lot more, less fluid details by then. But for right now, do we agree that this is about the most exciting thing that's happened
It sounds pretty exciting. I mean, you know, and Carlo, I think you know, my wife was in Uganda just
Recently,
a month or two ago, and certainly the stories she's told me, I can testify to some of the
Horrifying.
conditions. Yeah, you're talking about. It's not just another continent; it's almost another planet. And it's great that these kids have a chance to come out and see the world and hopefully raise some money to help their circumstances there.
Yes.
So
Well,
I'm
and-
looking forward to it.
And a lovely direct way for us to be able to help the Ugandan situation in a very direct way.
Yes.
So
Thank
give
you
us
for
the date
doing
again.
this.
Oh, it's May 15th, and the concert will be
Which
at
is what, a Tuesday?
It's a Tuesday night, and the concert will be from 6 to 8:30
Great.
At First Parish.
at First Parish Church. Yes,
There are some things that are cast in stone already.
we know that for sure.
We love it.
Well, Carlough, thank you so much for coming on. Yes, yeah, as Julie said, this really is an exciting opportunity, and I'm certainly I'll be there. I'm certainly
Great,
looking
thank you
forward
so
So
to
much.
tickets sold.
Great, thank you so much for having me.
All
Well,
right.
thank you for doing this, and maybe we'll get tape of the concert and show it to you in June,
That would be
or
wonderful.
at least some of it.
All
Thank
right.
you, Carlo. So we'll be back with
With the Bedford High School girls basketball team.
Don't go away.